Hello there. What's going on, everyone? Today I haven't done a Legion build in a while, and I figured it was a good time to start looking at Legion lists again, considering that we've got some new heavy units coming out, and we're going to be getting more previews soon, and I kind of missed building Legion lists since it's been a little while. So I wanted to do a LAAT-based list. And I'm going to start off with the LAAT today. I am using Tabletop Admiral, so I'll put a link in the description below so you can check that out. But yeah, so we wanted to add a LAAT here. Also, if you guys are new here, be sure to subscribe and leave a comment. That'll automatically enter you to win the $25 Amazon gift card giveaway. I'm going to be announcing the winner for that probably this weekend, so stay on the lookout for that. We're also going to be doing some more giveaways. I'll be doing some promo giveaways in the near future as well, so stay tuned for all of that. All right, so let's go ahead and figure out what we want to kind of run on this LAAT LE, because there's some pretty cool options, right? So this whole thing can be run as a transport or as a gunship. It's kind of like the main two ways I think of running it. And I said, well, I think I kind of settled on a way that we could run a couple of each. For example, you have the TIE pilot, which can increase its speed, so you can go really, really fast. You've got Governor Price, who's your field commander. And then you've got Baron Rudor, who's going to give you marksman and let you recover and get an aim. So he's going to be really, really good for the gunship option, because he's going to allow you to recover, get that that cycle weapon ready to turn early, and a free aim to go along with that. I think he'll be a really fun one, especially if you're thinking about running two of these and you want them kind of circular strafing around the battlefield and just firing. It'll be really fun. But I wanted to go with Governor Price. I think it was really cool that the Empire has her as an option for a field commander. But I also wanted to look at her ability. Like, what's a great way to be able to use her ability as a field commander to also give out some great aims, and somebody that either wants the suppression or doesn't mind the suppression. And I feel like there's a couple of really interesting options, but I wanted to go with an option that might not be the most intuitive when going with Governor Price, and that is I went with. I'm going to put her on there for right now, but I wanted to go with Vader, particularly Commander Vader, who ignores the aim altogether. Now, the reason I say this is counterintuitive is because, well, Commander Vader negates the need for your field commander, and I recognize that I'm kind of losing my field commander ability with Vader, but so be it. So what? You know what? I'm going to have fun. I think this will be a fun list, and it's going to be able to do a couple of really cool things. So first, let me put Vader out here, and I'm going to do kind of a standard Commander Vader build here, which is Saber Throw. He's got to have Saber Throw. He's got to have Force Push, in case, little, Rebel Trooper wants to go out there and engage him, and that's not wasting his time. But he's also going to have Force Reflexes to get that free dodge token. That's kind of the standard Commander Vader right there. And those are all good upgrades. They're all going to work very well for him. His weakness is his speed, and the patrol transport definitely makes up for that. The other weakness that I have with Vader, and maybe it's, maybe my dice are different than yours, but we were talking about this the other day, is you always, like when you saber throw with Vader, you always have that one blank, and you're like, man, I got Pierce 3, but I couldn't even roll 3 hits out of it, right? And so, but you never want to take an aim with Vader, so I was like, Callus would kind of work out with him pretty well. With the command card giving observation tokens, that'd be a nice option to have with Commander Vader, and I thought that was really cool. But here's just a different way to kind of address that same thing, and that's with Governor Price, transporting Vader up in there, also giving him a free aim token. And the cool thing is, you can do this every turn. It doesn't require an exhaust. He's going to ignore the suppression since he has no fear value, so no problem. So he gets a free aim, and you can do this even if he's still on board, if you're still transporting him, which is really a very, very nice thing. So I thought, hey, I like this. I like I like this whole setup. This is a good way to go. So let's see, how we can kind of synergize with this a little bit, because I think I also want to give the transport, it's got arsenal too, so I want to give it, an ordnance. And look, I do like high energy shells. It's good for going up against Jedi or people that might want to dodge by in some way, shape, or form, and that's fine. But you know what? I've got Vader already, so I think I've already got all the Jedi ammunition that I need. We've got the armor-piercing shells, which are going to be really good against, against a lot of vehicles that are out there. But I've also kind of got Vader for that. He can throw that lightsaber and chop those legs off those walkers and all of that beautiful nonsense. So in this case, I think what would work really, really well in this case is the bunker buster shells. This is one that I never wanted to use on those Clone Wars tanks, but I think will work really well off of this particular type of transport. For a transport that is going to be trying to drop Vader at a kind of a close distance, I have a pretty good chance of being range 1 to 2 of whoever I'm shooting. And with their scatter shot ability, it's going to really allow you to make sure that you're, taking some unit that is like hiding, pulling that mini out so Vader can then move in, like helping Vader's slower movement speed enable, him to close the distance. So I feel like this is a really good combination to run if you're transporting Vader, because just scatter is going to be really nice there. And also blast is also just really cool to have in general. So we're going to put the bunker buster. They're also the most expensive, but short range. But this is one of those cases where you're going to be closer range, so it's going to work. So I kind of like this combination here. And I wanted to do a couple of other different things. I wanted to have some fun with this list and do some things that I might not do otherwise. And so I decided I would do the return of dewbacks. I got 2 dewbacks that I bought. I never run them. I think I've run them once. And I said, you know what? Let's put some dewbacks in there. Vader has a command card that works really well with dewbacks. That works exceptionally well with them. If he can manage to line everything up, it's going to work really well. It's that it lets them take a free action. So, for all they have to do is take a wound. So I like that. Now looking at how we're going to outfit dewbacks, like endurance is a really good option. In this case, I don't even need it because I've got Commander Vader there. They're never going to panic. So, that's fine. I mean, provided that, Vader's, close enough to them. And of course, if Vader dies here, everything goes, the whole list kind of falls apart if Vader dies. So we just got to make sure Vader doesn't die, which means we don't drop him out in the open, which means we kind of drop him in a place where he can, you have a lot of selections on where you're going to drop him too. So let's just build out the dewback rider here. So the dewback rider, he's going to have HQ uplink. That's just to make sure that he'll have a face-up order token when I play Vader's command cards. Also, since I'm running Vader, I'm going to be running a lot of Vader's command cards, a lot of the 6 options, and many of those are only giving an order to Vader, so it's nice in this type of case to have HQ uplink options out there as well. Armament, I want to go with the Flame. Like the Flamer's it's just really, really fun. It's a fun unit to run. I've got a lot of other single target, big damage stuff, but this is going to be for it's just going to be great. And look, and if I have just a single target, no problem, because I can just attack. I can just ram, an enemy walker or an enemy tauntaun or whatever. But if I got that big unit, man, that flame rifle is just going to be beautiful on these guys. And I'm going to just do a +1 on that, double those both up. So I have 2 dewbacks. I'm going to run both of them. And we'll have a good time with running dewbacks. I think it's important to also challenge yourself on like the factions and the lists that you build, and just occasionally run stuff you wouldn't normally run just to have fun with it. And that's what I'm trying to do here. So what else are we going to run? I'm going to run some shore troopers. I want to put a shore trooper unit in there plus a DF90 mortar. I especially love the DF90 mortars. For being able to fire support with Vader if he wants to saber throw somebody. I love the idea of having a Pierce 3 weapon. Now that Vader's got an aim, we And this is important, right? Like, because now I've got 3 extra white dice that I can throw in there. I got a critical 1 on them, by the way, which is also great. And I've got Pierce 3. So now I can roll 6 dice with an aim and Pierce 3, and impact 3 and critical 1 and suppressive and all of that beautiful, beautiful stuff. So yeah, like nothing stinks worse than like throwing 3 red dice with no aim into a unit that's, only behind a bush, but they happen to have a suppression because they were shot once, so now it's all of a sudden it's heavy cover, and you roll 1 blank, and all of your dice go away, and Vader, like a 195 point unit, does no damage to a naked unit of rebel troopers. It's like with Pierce 3 and nothing gets through because the stupid bush was there. It's, oh my goodness. So this is designed to kind of relieve the pressure, relieve the, and have a good time. So even if you lose, even if the lightsaber goes away, it's okay because we have some dewbacks out here. We're gonna have fun with this. For our shore trooper, we're gonna run the T21B. It's a fantastic option for the shores, but we're gonna add. Look, I said we don't want Vader to die, right? We're gonna put some medical droids out here. They're gonna do a couple of different things. They can help keep our dewbacks alive, of course, but they're also gonna potentially help keep Vader alive. I don't know if the shore troopers will be close enough to Vader to make that happen, but it's always an option. It's probably more of a later game option. So to make this also a legal list, I have to add a 3rd core. Let's put in a regular stormtrooper option in there, and I'm just going to add the FX9 medical droid. This is going to be my objective holding unit also that's going to try to run up there and accompany Vader. These guys are going to try to heal Vader when he takes damage, because of course everybody's going to be trying to shoot him. So if you can just get two treat actions from this medical droid on Vader, help keep him alive, that's going to go a long, long way in a game that's only 6 turns long. Of course, this does depend on where you drop Vader with the LAAT LE patrol transport. So we have a little bit of points left. We're going to, try to cover some more of our bases. We don't have a whole lot of range. So let's just drop a strike team, scout trooper strike team, and drop in a DLT 19X sniper. This brings us to 792. 792 is not half bad. We can throw a couple of extra upgrades. I can go ahead and give him Hunter. Hunter's a great option for the scout troopers because with only 2 black dice and no surge, it is possible for them to whiff. So if they're going after somebody that's already been wounded, like that same unit that Vader missed with his lightsaber, these guys can take a shot. And maybe they're wounded. Maybe he's going after Wookiees. We're going to see more Wookiees now. Maybe the enemy commander, sharpshooter, is going to get rid of that 1 suppression, or at least part of that cover from that. And then if they get the free aim, that's going to be helpful as well. So that's good. We got 2 points left over. In this case, when I have 2 points in shore troopers, I do like to give recon intel to the shore troopers. One of the reasons for that, there's actually 2 reasons in this case. First off, recon intel is nice. If they go first, the detachment, the mortar gets to deploy, and I have a lot more options on where I want to put that mortar. I can put that mortar pretty far forward, and so I definitely like that. Also, it lets me get my shore trooper unit a little farther forward, so I've got that other medic that's just 1 move closer to where Vader is probably going to get dropped from the LAAT LE, and that's a good thing to have, have them a little bit closer. Now let's go down to command cards too. I want to talk about this a little bit because I'm not just straight up using all of Vader's command cards. Because there's a big one that I don't need to use at all. Is Darkness Descends. Like it's only good if you need Vader to have infiltrate. This is the one it's a super cool art. It's a super cool thematic card, but more often than not, it's a bad idea. Just because having Vader, or at least for me, it's a bad idea. It might not be a bad idea for everybody, and it certainly might not be a bad idea depending on your terrain. If you go to a tournament with it, you never know what kind of terrain you got. Terrain isn't always set in stone before a game. So, there's a lot of cases where, boy, the only place I can put him that he'd be safe, he's also equally far away from where the action's going to take place. So maybe this isn't good, right? So, or maybe, your opponent goes first and now the only good spot you had to put him, they put somebody too close and now he can't go there because it's within range 3. So infiltrate is rough. And also, by the way, you know, it's tough because he has to be deployed at the end of setup, so all the good spots are gone by then. Especially if your opponent's running infiltrate too, which more and more and more units have infiltrate. Like, I think this card needs an errata. Like, if nothing else, it needs to potentially at least have, if you didn't reveal it, like if you didn't divulge it, then it needs to do something maybe slightly better. I just, because it's just a bad card for so many reasons now. But the good thing is I've got the LAAT LE, so I don't even care. Like, I can have LAAT LE. I can have Vader flying on a transport, no problem. And he can go wherever he wants. So instead of that one, we're going to run a 3-pip. Now, I've got coordinated fire. It could work. I've got 3 core units, but since I have only 3, I don't want to use this one. I'm going to run assault. Assault is just great for this because I've got so many different unit types. Also, there is the chance that Vader dies. I want to save assault for kind of late game if possible, or either late game if Vader dies, or just that mid game like clutch play where I had to get like the sniper in order, and I had to get the LAAT LE in order, and I needed the flexibility that assault gives you, because that's just a really good card. In this particular build, it says I can go Vader, LAAT, and sniper. Or potentially the sniper may be too far away, but I could go like Vader, LAAT, and then maybe a dewback, or better yet, Vader, LAAT, shore trooper, and then activate the mortar for free, and then have a lot better pulls from the pile. So I really like that one here. But after that, I'm going to run everything else. Implacable, I think I'm of the mindset that Commander Vader's original 3 cards are by far the best. Implacable is really good when you have medics also, because you have to do a wound. It is likely that by the time you're close enough to play this and really get the most out of it, you're probably going to have some wounds on you already. So you'll make sure you want a medic standing by when you want to run Implacable. New ways to motivate them. This one is a very, very good one. It's a little more situational, but this list is made for it. It's really good for this list because it's going to let, first off, I have the option of just saying, you know what, I'm just going to give the orders to the dewbacks, and that's great because they can get free actions, and since they have relentless, I mean, it gives them so much. They can go move, move, move. They can get 3 moves, and they're big dudes. All right, they can get 3 moves. They can spur the whole time. They can get all the way across the board and just wreck stuff with relentless and spur. Just absolutely wreck stuff to completely surprise people how far they can move, and that's a really fun thing. Plus, it's also good for your regular guys. You got the medics out there to make up for the damage too if you need to. It's just good for clutch plays when you have to get to objectives also. So really like new ways to motivate them. And Master of Evil, also incredibly good card. 3 suppression tokens to all those dudes nearby. It's just, it's always great. And it's also Darth Vader plus 2 units also. So again, another clutch play. Those 3 pips are really going to be good for getting those orders out there. I've got room for 2 more, another 1 and a 2. And here we have a little bit of flexibility. Vader's might is good, but it's not that crucial. All right. It's fun. It's not that crucial. I'm putting it in there, though, because I'm leaning more towards fun. If I was going maybe to like something really, really competitive, I might swap that over for ambush. Covert observations got changed a little bit, and that's kind of cool, but I want the flexibility that ambush is going to give, because in this case, it's only going to get me an order to that sniper, and that's not going to help me. So I could easily see going for ambush in this case, just to give me the flexibility to issue the order to who I need to, but I'm going to go with Vader's Might because it's more fun. And Fear and Dead Med. This one also is situational. Push is probably going to be a little better here. Pinned Down is actually going to work fairly well as well in this, because we do have, a heavy and 2 supports, so that is definitely going to work. And honestly, this is a very useful card. In a lot of cases, I could easily make an argument to put this one in here. The only reason I'm not putting this one in is because those dewbacks might not always be in range to get them when I need to play this card. Like when the time comes, I like this a little bit better when you've got more shooting vehicles. So this would be good with speeder bikes and or a support that has a little bit more range than my dewbacks do. So I'm going to go with Fear and Dead Men. It's a fun one, and it's a little thematic, and it kind of doubles down on me having a lot of Vader in there. Like I can maybe lose Vader very close to the end, but I need him alive for at least 5 turns. So that's the list, guys. Again, I'll put a link. Check out Tabletop Admiral. I'll put a link in the description below. I've got a couple of other links down there as well. If you want to check out my Discord, we have a great family-friendly Discord server. We got communities for all the 3 different games. Be sure to check it out. There's other links as well. If you're interested in following me on social media, checking out the store, checking out Crabbok.com, the Legion AI system that's on there. And I've also got Ultimate Palpatine Encounter if you're interested in running that. All kinds of stuff like that is available for free on Crabbok.com. So check that out. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons as well. You guys are the heart and soul of this channel, make it all possible. So thank you for your continued support. I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much. And as always, have a great day.